Thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Inside OC.
Thank you.
Okay,
There's so much fun.
there was so much. There was so much. There was something else with the DA I wanted to bring up.
Well, there was
what
the other
else?
thing, the DA, that we didn't talk about, which probably maybe better, is, you know, I'm representing the Superior Court of Orange County against the DA's office. The DA's office in California, each side of a case, criminal or civil, can strike a judge one time.
Oh, yeah, okay, and that's...
And they have now, the DA's office
They're papering the judge, right?
They paper Judge Goethals in 55 out of 58 murder cases.
Which is a legal technique to remove him from the case.
And they removed him from 55 out of 58 murder cases since February 2014 to December 2015. Yeah. And a judge in Orange County, Judge Rick King, said no longer could the DA's office do this. The DA's office has appealed to the Court of Appeal, and the Superior Court asked me to be their lawyer, and I argued the case on April 26th.
The other case I had meant to ask, and where you disagreed with the DA, was on that case, the Irvine 11, the students who protested the appearance of the Israeli ambassador. This was several years ago now. They got up, they basically shouted him down. They were escorted out. They were making a political statement, while you felt they were not, that they could not argue their free speech rights, that it was excessive to prosecute them. So you faulted the DA for that. My thinking on that is that, yes, they were making a political statement. Yes, they were intrusive. That happens a lot on college campuses. It seemed to me they were held to a different standard, that if you held the same standard to them or to other students as to them, you'd have on every campus kids going to jail. Am I right or wrong?
I totally agree. You know, it was wrong for the students to disrupt the speaker. There is no First Amendment right to come into my classroom and keep me from speaking, or to go into the city council meeting, or any other public event. The question is, though, what's the appropriate punishment? The appropriate punishment, I thought, was university discipline. The students needed to be punished. What they did was wrong, but not criminal prosecution.
So why were they? Why were they criminally prosecuted?
You'd have to ask the district attorney that.
Well, you have views.
I do have views, and I think it was wrong for them to be criminally prosecuted for just the reason you say. There are countless instances on campus where people disrupt other people. They don't get criminally prosecuted.
So do you think the prosecutor, the DA, did it for political reasons? It was a politically popular thing to do. They're espousing unpopular views, and you know, they're an easy target.
My own personal explanation would be yes. I think there was a political motivation for this. I just can't understand why otherwise, because I can recite instances on campus where people disrupted other activities.
There have been speakers who can't even go on the campus,
and that's wrong.
Yeah.
The ambassador should have been able to speak. What the students did was improper. They should have been punished. They didn't need to be criminally prosecuted.
Right. Okay. One last thing, in the typical open mic chatter, we're both Chicago boys. I grew up on the north side, you on the south side. We both went to Northwestern, but oddly, we must both be contrarian, because you're a South Sider who roots for the Cubs, and I'm a North Sider who roots for the Sox. So, just explain, what's your impression growing up in Chicago?
I think I would say, hopefully most people, I had a wonderful childhood. And I grew up on the far South Side. I grew up in a working class family. Neither my parents nor brother, sister ever went to college. And when I think of having grown up there and where I am now, it's really amazing. I've been incredibly blessed.
Yeah, you came here, it's funny, we were talking beforehand, you talked about the Rose Bowl parade being such an influence on you that when you had the opportunity to come out here, watching that every year. And
absolutely. I used to watch the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, and I grew up hating cold and snow and say to my father, I'm going to go live there someday. So when the offer came to teach at the University of Southern California, I said to my wife, please, can we go?
And that resonates with me because I had the same feeling, but there was one other television show that did it for me, and it's very, I think, very apropos because Wilbur just died. But Alan Post, did I get it?
No,
Alan, what's his name?
He just died. Wilbur was the
Wilbur Post,
right?
Alan Young.
That's it.
Alan Young.
He just passed away like age 96.
And that show had a tremendous influence. This guy who's got his, he's in Pasadena. He's an architect. He's got this little, talking horse. It's always warm. They go to Palm Springs every weekend. I said, that's a place to live.
I think by talking about Mr. Ed, we are dating ourselves.
Okay. Okay, and I did want to ask you one more thing on cybersecurity.
Sure.
Or at least connected to some extent with cybersecurity, and that's Edward Snowden. Can Edward Snowden get a fair trial in the United States?
Yes, I believe he can get a fair trial. I find it very I think nuance is my word of the day with you. I think that Edward Snowden served an incredibly important public purpose. He revealed how the federal government was breaking the law and doing things it shouldn't be doing. But he broke the law. He was civilly disobedient. And a person who's civilly disobedient has to accept the punishment for the actions. I find that my college students and law students often think, once you're civilly disobedient, that excuses you from punishment. No, you get punished for being civilly disobedient. So I believe if Snowden comes back, he needs to be punished. Could he get a fair trial? Yeah, I believe he can get a fair trial. Should he be convicted? Yeah. I would hope the judge would have mercy and take into account he also served a public purpose.
And probably Edward Snowden himself is going through that calculation as to just how severe the punishment would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Professor, again, thanks so much, and let's do it again before 2 years.
That.
You know,
I'd like that.
Yeah, great to see and continued success with the lawsuit. Get into that top 20.
We will.
Okay. Thank you.
Will. Thank you.